Have you ever stopped to think about how weapons don't just win wars, but actually change the world itself? That's what we're digging into today. We're going to follow the thread of technology from the muddy trenches of World War I all the way to the battlefields of tomorrow.
And this quote right here, it absolutely nails it. This is the core idea. For as long as we've been fighting, the side with the weapon that could shoot faster or reach further or just hit harder, well, that's the side that usually ended up writing the history books.
So let's picture it. The year is 1914. The average soldier is carrying a bolt-action rifle. Now, it's a solid weapon for sure, accurate, dependable, but it's slow. I mean really slow. You fire a shot, you manually work the bolt, eject the casing, load the next round. Everything is limited by how fast a single person can move their hands.
And then this came along, the Maxim machine gun. And what you're seeing here isn't just an upgrade. It's a complete change in the laws of physics on the battlefield. You go from one soldier managing maybe 15 shots in a good minute to a weapon that completely rewrites the rulebook.
600. Just let that number sink in. 600 rounds per minute. That's not just a little bit better, it's a quantum leap. One machine gun could now unleash the same amount of firepower as 40 riflemen. And unlike those soldiers, it never got tired, it never flinched, it just kept firing.
So, what did this mean, really? It meant that military tactics that have been used for literally centuries, the infantry charge, the cavalry assault, were suddenly useless, suicidal even. Generals would send waves of men over the top, and they'd just be erased in seconds. This single piece of technology is why World War I became a brutal, grinding war of trenches. There was just no other way to survive.
Okay, so if World War I was the birth of industrialized warfare, World War II was where it grew up at a horrifying pace. The battlefield was no longer just a flat line. Now it went deep, and for the first time it went vertical, right into the sky.
On the ground you had beasts like the German Tiger tank. We're talking about a monster that could punch through enemy armor from over a kilometer away. Total domination. And up in the air, the jet engine arrived. Suddenly, planes were hitting speeds of 600 kilometers an hour, and aerial combat became this incredibly fast three-dimensional chess game played at the edge of human endurance.
And this timeline, wow, it really shows you the insane acceleration. Think about it. In the span of a single generation, we go from the end of trench warfare to the invention of the jet engine to the first true main battle tanks, and then to the weapon that changed everything.
This is the moment history pivots. August 6th, 1945. The atomic bomb wasn't just another weapon, it was a period at the end of a sentence. It didn't just end a war, it fundamentally changed the meaning of power, of survival, of what it meant to be a nation on this planet.
And out of that atomic fire, a new kind of conflict was born, the Cold War. You know, it's funny. This was a war fought in silence, in the shadows. The two superpowers had the power to destroy the world 10 times over, so they couldn't actually fight. The stakes were just too high.
The icon of this era was the ICBM, the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, a rocket that could fly from a silo in North Dakota to a city in Russia in less than 30 minutes. Distance became meaningless. There was nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And it created this terrifyingly stable but utterly insane idea called mutually assured destruction. Its acronym, MAD. You can't make this stuff up.
And that really is the mind-bending paradox of the Cold War, isn't it? The whole point of the arms race was to build a weapon so powerful, so unthinkable, that it guaranteed it would never be used. It was a global standoff, with the fate of humanity hanging in the balance.
So after the Cold War, the whole philosophy of warfare shifted. The pendulum swung away from the sledgehammer of annihilation and towards the scalpel. The goal wasn't to destroy a city anymore. It was to hit a single building, a single vehicle, maybe even a single window from hundreds of miles away.
And here's basically how that works. It's actually kind of simple in principle. An operator, who could be a soldier on the ground or a drone circling miles up, just points an invisible laser at a target. They paint it. And the bomb? It's just built to follow that little reflection of light all the way down. Warfare became surgical.
And that brings us right up to today. The new arms race isn't about who can make the biggest bang. It's about who is the fastest, the quietest, and the smartest. We're talking about hypersonic missiles that travel at more than 5 times the speed of sound, so fast you can't really stop them. We're talking about stealth aircraft that are practically invisible to radar. And maybe most importantly, we're talking about AI drones that can loiter for hours, identify a target, and strike, all with a human operator safely on the other side of the world.
So, what's next? If this is where we are now, what does the battlefield of the future even look like? Well, it's probably going to be weirder, faster, and more automated than anything we've seen yet.
I mean, just look at this list. We are talking about literal laser cannons that can shoot down missiles. We're on the cusp of fully autonomous robot soldiers that make their own decisions. We have cyber weapons that can shut down an entire country's power grid without firing a shot. And this one, AI-guided drone swarms. Not one drone, but hundreds, all working together like a hive mind. The battlefield is literally expanding into cyberspace and outer space.
So when you look back, it is an absolutely wild journey. We went from one soldier, in a trench, trying to fire 15 shots in a minute, to a swarm of intelligent machines executing a mission on their own. Each of these leaps in technology didn't just change the battle, it changed the world that came after.
Which leaves us with this, the one really important question. Our power to destroy has grown in ways that the soldier in 1914 couldn't even have dreamed of. But has our wisdom grown along with it? That's the one question we still have to answer.